Welcome to Beyond the Box.
Our guests are insiders that are now out and on our side, dropping nuclear intel and breaking it down just for you.
And now it's time to introduce our hosts, Brenda Lankridge and Suzanne Haunt. Join us and subscribe for weekly shows. Beyond the Box begins now. Let's jump in.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Box. And oh, that is not working out very well. It's going to drive me crazy, so I'm going to turn it off. Tonight we have Penny Bradley with us, and we're going to talk about all kinds of neat stuff. So I've got Tommy's going to join me here in a little bit. He said he's getting ready. I don't know if Susie's going to be here tonight. She's been doing all kinds of stuff today, running around. So you got me for now, and Penny's backstage. So before we get started, let me just do our prayer. And Father, we ask that you still keep protection over everybody after all of these storms and hurricanes and tornadoes. And please help the people of Florida, North Carolina. And then we've got the wildfires out there in Wyoming. Please keep them safe. And Father, I ask that you keep all of us here on the show, people watching, keep us safe, and just pray for our planet. We've got things going on everywhere. So I ask this in Jesus' name. And I don't know. I had somebody tell me, oh God, our planet's falling apart. I think it was Denise. Denise, I say, you get the duct tape, I'll get the super glue, and we'll meet in the middle and try to put it back together. This is just a mess. So Penny and I are going to talk a little bit about that stuff tonight, I do believe. So it ought to be interesting. So let me go ahead and bring her out here. Hello, Penny.
What in the world?
What happened?
I have something weird going on in my background there. Well, I did manage to get a picture. Wow. Alrighty then.
Good work, huh? Yeah, I forgot to ask them to turn the big light off tonight, so I had turned my background off because when the big light's on, it fades in and out and drives me insane. And I'm,
Yeah.
But it looks good. Look, we got a picture.
We got a picture. I got a picture this time. I changed the I went from I'm blanking. I'm sorry. I'm using Firefox and it still won't let me use a background picture.
Huh.
So weird. It says not supported. So
well, that might be my setup, not my platform. It might be because I have a big time defense thing on my computer, which
Mm.
if anybody tries to tap into it, my whole entire screen starts flashing red, and then it corrects whatever's going on.
Ah,
So I know if anybody's peeking in on me, it's kind of cool.
well, I have no idea why there's computer code behind my little picture, but that's what they decided to put in.
Oh, well,
So
there you go.
I did,
So
I did not do that. I don't know what it's from. So,
it just appeared.
yes.
So what are we gonna get ourselves into tonight?
Possibly a lot of trouble.
Oh,
Um,
well, that's always fun.
I have made an effort to get a bunch of actual sources, and okay, the best way I can put it is that the government has decided that everything that we are going to talk about is misinformation because
Oh, well, of
it
course.
puts them in a bad light.
Well, you know that
And
misinformation, when they label it that, that means it's true.
usually, yes.
Yeah.
But I know you go on YouTube, and I'm hoping to not get you a strike. So that's kind of where I am right now. Okay.
I I have fought everyone and so far haven't gotten one. I don't know how many they give you because I've not gotten one, even though they've been mad at
Um,
me or they've taken off a show
okay.
or they've done.
The third strike, they delete your whole channel.
Oh, I haven't gotten any.
I've had two, and then two more separately. So I went 6 months between the first two and then the third one. So you have to go 6 months between them. So you haven't gotten any. So okay, we should be okay. Now
They
I
got
have
rid. Jason said they got rid of the third strike rule. What is it now? One? Is it one, Jason?
there are some folks that they delete them first round. I mean,
Yeah,
uh,
well, you know.
there have been those folks, yes. And since I'm on Firefox instead of Opera, I don't have any of my bookmarks, so I'm not going to YouTube to see what people are saying. So you're going to have to read me questions.
Okay.
Um, I'm kind of I've been having trouble sleeping since all these hurricanes have been going down.
Oh, by the
So,
way,
so I'm a bit
Denise,
scattered.
Denise, look down there where you told me before and see in that little corner and see if it has the donation setup thing. I spent all day putting stuff together uh, for that, and I don't know if it worked.
Ah,
I I have no idea. I don't see it on my end, so I wasn't seeing the smiley face that they were talking about either on my end before. So I don't know. I
okay.
don't. I don't. Oh, okay. It says no, not yet. What on earth is that? No, just a smiley face. Now I'm going to sit here dumbfounded because I could have swore it said I was set up. I don't know what. Oh well, this is retarded. I blame Obama. I blame him for everything, so it's okay. I can just blame him.
It's not just Obama. Some of it goes all the way back to Tricky Dick.
Oh well, yeah. I blame everything.
Okay. We can start off with this if you like. It's a letter to the Honorable Alejandro Mayorkas from Matt Gates. Yeah, and
Oh,
here I was hoping to keep you out of trouble. So we'll start off with actual evidence. So yeah, I had put it together. I was attempting to do real evidence, so rather than just screw around. So, okay. Okay. Let's proceed. Okay. Mute website notifications. What? Okay. Okay. Now, how do I get a share?
Oh, okay. Hang on a second. Go to.
I've got the thing where it says, oh,
All right. If you
you
go
have
down,
to allow it.
yes. All you got to do is go hit share this screen thing,
I
and then
did.
you'll click on what it is you want to share, and then it'll be a little yellow button that'll say share now, and then it'll come in on the queue, and then I'll bring it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Look at there.
Look at there. And it's covered. You are sharing another application window. Okay. So if I hit that, will it disappear?
I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
Awesome. There it is. This is an official photograph of an official letter from Matt Gaetz, a member of Congress, and it's carbon copied by electronic mail to the DHSS secretary and a copy to FEMA. Okay. Dear Secretary Mayorkas, yesterday you stated that the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which is a part of your department, does not have enough funds to make it through the hurricane season. This news comes after FEMA has spent hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars on migrants due to border czar Kamala Harris' open border instead of prioritizing funding for Americans impacted by disasters. And there's a link at the bottom. My office has been in contact with whistleblowers in numerous emergency management functions at the federal, state, and local levels, and they all point to the same critical mismanagement issues. FEMA has wasted taxpayer funds, misappropriated funds, and left other federal, state, and local responders without deployment orders on the ground. As reported and further confirmed by my office, hundreds, if not thousands, of service members were deployed by the Department of Defense to North Carolina and have sat idle waiting for FEMA. Another link from Twitter, no less. We have confirmed FEMA employees deployed on the clock awaiting orders in hotels. FEMA pre-disaster aid was withheld, exacerbating the emergency. It is also public that NGOs, that's a non-governmental organization, have purchased airline tickets for migrants through the use of FEMA funds. And there's a link to National Review where it talks about Delta Airlines. Okay. The aftermath of Hurricane Helene was a major disaster, and your waste and unpreparedness are leaving Americans in distress, unable to access food, water, or medicine, and expecting help with none coming. Please provide answers to the following questions to my office by tomorrow, October 11th, 2024. And this was dated from October 4th, so he gave them more than a week. 1. What policies and regulations of the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA prevent emergency funds from being wasted on illegal immigrants including what conditions are placed on grantees of the agency. And 2, of FEMA's total budget for fiscal year 2024, what portion of funds can be guaranteed to have been spent solely on American citizens, and what portion of funds was or may have been spent on non-citizens? And 3, in fiscal year 2024, what portion of funds in the Disaster Relief Fund have been spent on non-disaster relief programs, such as providing services to illegal aliens or providing routine training to FEMA employees authorized out of general appropriations? Sincerely, Matt Gaetz, Member of Congress. Okay, now,
Nice.
how do I get out of that one?
I can take it down.
Okay.
I kind of pulled you out of there too.
Sorry. So what we've got is basically everything that we are going to complain about the situation Matt Gaetz already asked him about. So if he is asking the same thing out of Congress, then why are they labeling us as misinformation?
Right.
So,
Go figure.
Yeah. Now, we have, where do I go next? I thought I had, I've got a video.
Okay. And Penny, this is Tommy.
Hi, Tommy.
Hello, Penny. Pleasure to meet you. I've heard tons about you.
Oh, I hope it's been good.
Of course.
Yes, because we
There's
love
there's a lot of people out there that don't like me.
Yeah,
I
well,
can say the same for me.
So,
A lot of people. A lot of people.
Yeah. I think this is the right one. Okay.
It is our
Okay.
lowest.
well, it's okay, Denise. I know my Cash App works, and I did link everything, but I don't know why.
Impact.
I don't know what happened. I did. I spent all day working on that, doing the donations things for the, because it actually goes on my platform. Maybe YouTube's just being a jerk, but it would be my platform, so I don't understand why. I'll
Okay.
figure it out eventually. Go ahead, Penny. I'm ready for you.
Okay. This one is Vice President Kamala Harris talking about it. And select screen, media player. Okay. Allow.
It is our lowest income communities and our communities of color that are most impacted by these extreme conditions and impacted by issues that are not of their own making. And so absolutely. And so we have to address this in a way that is about giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. And if we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we have to take into account those disparities and do that work.
Okay. What you just heard her say is why FEMA won't act. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I had it downloaded. Can't find it right now. But there was an executive order from Joe Biden that set FEMA up to do equity instead of emergency. They no longer do triage as to who needs it the worst. They do who was in the worst shape to begin with, and those people get help.
Oh,
So I have not seen it defined. The one video that I saw where they were working on defining it listed all of the letters,
yeah.
all those folks as part of the equity group that they were aiming at, targeting for help. They're also targeting minorities and I believe women. But for some reason, they decided that the poor mountain folks of North Carolina did not qualify.
Well, let me say this. The one thing that they have always wanted is division in our country. And the
Yep.
way they conquered that was having nobody help them because the people have gone in to help.
Oh, yeah.
Texas has sent people. Oklahoma has sent, they sent the canine dogs.
Virginia too.
Tennessee, Virginia, everything.
Oh,
Maryland.
yeah.
They have
Every-
all sent help. So once again, and I'm going to say this because apparently somewhere down the line people forgot. When 9/11 happened, the same thing happened. Everybody joined together. But somewhere down the line, everybody kind of forgot that kindness, that caring.
Yeah.
And I hope that
I've
don't
had-
happen again.
I've had this attitude we're either all of us Americans or we're not.
Exactly.
And if we're not, they should start being honest about it and stop pussyfooting around,
Right.
and they need to start saying what they really mean, because right now equity sounds really good until you see how it's put into practice.
That's all doublespeak, you know.
Now that is the core underlying legal issue why FEMA didn't do anything, is because the people that were in the most trouble didn't meet their criteria.
Wow. So, and I guess
And
I understand that.
they said it. That's why I played the video, because it came out of her own mouth.
Yeah.
Now,
Diabolical.
anybody that votes for her going forward should know this is where she stands.
Yeah, but the problem with it is the people that do vote for her, they think that, I don't know, they're just not getting it. They're not seeing that.
What they're seeing is all the propaganda against the other guy. And
Yeah.
to me, it's you have the right wing and the left wing of the same bird of prey that's eating us alive. So
They're all the same.
I don't really see how one is much better than the other, but at the moment we have to choose between them. And the worst thing that can possibly happen is one of them is going to win.
Well, this is what I say. They are both the same, shooting for almost the same agenda, but the one is the lesser of both evils. That's the way I
one is not openly communist. I will say that way.
So
Ms. Harris was a dues-paying, card-carrying communist until 1991. She was a member of the Communist Party. I've seen a copy of her membership card. So I'm not slandering her. This is what she believes.
I don't personally. I don't like her because when she speaks, it goes around in a circle, like the like a
it's a word salad.
Stone wheel. If a bump, a bump, a bump, and it all goes. She doesn't make any sense.
She
I
doesn't
can't.
make sense when she talks. If she can't figure out how to make a word salad around it, she'll cackle. Um, she laughs like a crazy person.
She,
She,
hyena.
and it's like, oh, when she was in a debate, she wore those earrings that are headphones. She wouldn't do a interview by herself. Um, she did these interviews with her vice president candidate, and um, she let him do all the talking. You
Yeah.
know, is she incapable of rational speech? That's what I'm wondering. And if so, why would we want her in the White House?
Or she could be aware that she's just unlikable.
Um,
Just now aware of it?
I live in California where she was attorney general, and I'm old enough to remember how she got the job.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm old enough to remember what she did with the job. And I would never vote for her. Ever. Ever.
Oh, she was one of the reasons I remember, because I grew up in California, and I remember some of my family members saying that she was the reason that they ended up switching and voting Republican instead of Democrat.
I'm registered Republican just so I can vote in a primary. Um, and I'm going to be honest. Robert Kennedy is still on the ballot here in California, and that's who I'm voting for because I consider him the only responsible adult that's running.
Well,
Do I agree with everything he stands for? Oh, hell no. But he's at least trying. The other two are so set in their ways, there's no reasoning with them. And their egos are so huge
well, I weigh another difference, and the difference is our Communist Party, um, they hate this country.
yeah.
They hate us. The other one, at least, likes the country.
Yeah, he likes the country at
Yeah.
least.
And
Um,
and
um,
and on a short note, I can say that there are quite a few people that he does like. Um, the family's good. I keep receiving stuff. I'm telling you, I wish I was 28 years younger. I would marry his son. He keeps sending me things. I got I got this today. I didn't even know it was coming. I had no clue. I mentioned that I seen him and that I liked him, and then I got this today.
well, cool.
And
It, it,
I was like, oh, okay.
well,
And a little letter that said something else is coming, but I don't know what. So we'll see what happens.
well, at least they're rewarding loyalty.
Oh,
Um,
just
but,
good friends.
I'm
But no,
really
I do, and I understand. And I don't, I, my biggest problem with her is where's she been? Number one, that's a big one. Where's she been? And I like the plan that she has to fix the border. Well, she's been border czar for 4 years. Why hasn't she fixed it?
Yeah.
You don't have to wait till you're president.
The job of the vice president, as I understand it in the Constitution, is that they are supposed to preside over the Senate. And these days, that can be a job all by itself. So I'm.
Have you ever seen her at any of the meetings that they have that they televised?
No.
Nope, me neither. Um, has anybody
To
ever
be
seen her
honest,
actually
I don't
anywhere near
want.
the Capitol?
I don't watch a lot of those things. It turns into a boring pump up my ego contest. And I'm just tired of all that shit.
I feel
I'm getting old, and I'm to the point I'm tired of listening to them brag. I'm
yeah,
tired of listening to them boast about stuff that doesn't matter and ignore the stuff that does.
I
And
like the way they bring up the stuff that is supposed to matter. Well, they bring up a lot of stuff, but then the whole hidden agendas that's in it, the small print, the they don't talk about that gets signed in anyways. Now, that's what irritates me. And people, a lot of this stuff is all common knowledge. You can find it. You
yeah,
know, you can look it up. You can
okay,
go, you know, what, Penny?
yeah.
Oh wait, what, Tommy?
They're too distracted. The football game's on, or American Idol. It's the Circus Maximus that keeps people
Oh, gee.
blind to the
Yeah.
what's occurring. Which is why there's so much focus on the dog and pony show.
Yep, dog and pony shows.
You know,
I watch those on occasions, and I usually feel 5 times dumber by the time it's done if I don't fall asleep.
Yeah, falling asleep's a biggie.
Because
So,
I try to keep up on what kind of idiotic stuff that they're going to be talking about this week. And, so I can sit back and go, well, that's stupid. What does that matter?
okay. I have something I downloaded as a PDF.
Ooh.
It's, oh, gee, path does not exist.
Did they go to North Carolina or Florida? Denise, I did watch that live feed thing last night, and they had Joe and Kamala on there. They were talking, but they weren't down there. I had to turn it down. I just couldn't listen to them anymore. I had no volume. I was just sitting here going, what?
Okay, I'm going to have to find the original on.
Yes, Denise, I seen that. I love this girl. Yeah, I couldn't listen to him anymore because the biggest turnoff for me was here. People in Florida are scrambling for their lives to save their property, save their homes, everything else. And what is the first thing that comes out of Joe's mouth? Well, I want to just make a point to talk about the misinformation that former President Trump is spreading about the 750.
Oh, God, yes.
I was like, wait a minute. I didn't hear that from him. I didn't hear that from him.
I'm going to go into the tech.
Okay.
All right. I've got a photo here. God. Okay.
That's right. Our neighbors and the people in the U.S. Hey, Canada even sent down a whole bunch of linemen to help with North Carolina and everybody.
Yes, they did.
They're saying some of the electric will never get turned back on because of the shortage in transformers. And
hurricanes are created via cloud seeding, and electromagnetic pulses then radiate and ionize them so they can intensify and direct them. You see these things with the bubbles on them?
Yes.
Those, they call them Doppler radar. And those things are sending out pulses, and they're if you see those all over anywhere, those things can direct the storms. So
now they're
all over the place.
Now they said they had some of those for desert where they hardly ever get any water. They use the cloud seeding to make the water so that those countries can have water. You know, that's a good intent. Okay.
If that's what they were
If
doing,
that's
I wouldn't have a problem with it at all.
right. Yeah,
But that's
exactly.
yeah.
They've been talking about weather manipulation and control since, for 70 years now.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah. Well, this was the Hurricane Helene radar image when it was heading up into Georgia and Carolina.
Right.
You notice all these green spots?
Yep.
Those are the NexRad towers. That's the other word for those is NexRad. You see all these locations? There's one of them even in Tampa. When they're on, they block the storm. When they're sending out their radiation like that, they're blocking the storm coming towards them. When they turn it off, it pulls them in. You don't see that one here on, do you?
No.
You don't see the one in Jacksonville here on,
Nope.
do you?
Nope.
You don't see the one in Tampa Bay here on.
Nope.
So
Not at
they
all.
were guiding this thing.
That was the Harper Ray.
What?
The Harper Ray has been electromagnetic weather manipulation for 45 years, and the 5G tower structure and array itself is like it's like a Harper Ray, but it's larger.
I told you on September
It's
9th.
all over the planet now.
Right. And I had somebody that worked for the companies that build those, and the 5G towers,
Mm-hmm.
and they said that they're not there for what we think they're there for.
Yeah.
So
Behavioral modification.
yeah.
Okay. I do not know why it is so quiet, but this is an interesting video from TikTok.
Hey, it's Glenn. So I told you on September 9th there was a plane doing a strange pattern around western North Carolina. Not just any plane, a P-3 Orion owned by NASA, that in their own words is extremely modified for airborne scientific research. On September 9th, that exact aircraft was supposed to be taking part in NASA's EDGE mission. By the way, I should mention, it appears that you can rent this plane. So I looked into recent flights prior to September 9th. All of them seem to be up in the Arctic, Greenland, Baffin Bay, basically pretty isolated and always straight flights from one location to another. So who did commission this flight on September 9th of 2024? And why were they doing this? If someone has the answer, let me know, because this is really haunting me. I'll see you in the comments. Take care.
You see Asheville right there in the middle?
Yep.
Used to live there.
So what was the NASA plane doing making a triangle around Asheville just before Helene was there?
Was it just before, or did it make a triangle around Helene as it came through?
It was just before. Okay.
And if anybody has any questions for Penny, just let me know.
Hey.
I'm trying.
As Tommy throws us on the floor. It's okay, Tommy.
I tried to put these together in a rational order, and then I get here and it just doesn't.
I like
Why?
that Denise was asking questions because North Carolina and all them have the quartz mines and stuff. What does Florida have? Norma says, Denise, Florida has too many Republicans. Well, you are right there. I guess that's a good analysis.
There are entire towns around Asheville that are gone, like Chimney
Yeah,
Rock and
there are.
Yeah.
just completely gone.
Yeah, this
And
stuff is this, we can make light of this and that's fine because I think sometimes if we don't, we'd go crazy. But it's a very serious thing that they're doing right now. And yes, the only help that anybody's getting is coming from neighbors and other states, and they're still trying to block that. And it's
but
not
the
right.
rest,
If you're not going to fix it, don't block it because
Okay,
they're
this
not
is
going to win.
a PDF of a website. It's from the Scratch Post website, and it was titled Hurricane Helene, Here the Research for You. So this one's a little bit long. So I screwed up, didn't get the title on the first one.
It's okay.
Um, The National Guard has over 1,100 soldiers and airmen on active duty and is making use of nearly 400 vehicles, including 26 aircraft, according to the U.S. Department of Defense. President Joe Biden, who visited the area on Wednesday, announced that he had dispatched 1,000 troops to reinforce the North Carolina National Guard with relief efforts. Altogether, around 6,700 guardsmen are providing support to these different communities, according to the U.S. Department of Defense. And there's a full article link on the website. Hurricane Helene's death toll reaches 200 after Georgia. North Carolina reports more fatalities. And that's from October 3rd, and there's a full article. President Joe Biden toured the damage in both Carolinas on Wednesday. During his visit, he announced 1,000 active duty troops are being deployed to help with the recovery. Biden also said the government will cover all costs for emergency recovery work for 6 months. FEMA is also offering free temporary housing to flood victims. This is Congressman Kevin Corman, Republican of North Carolina, and he posted it on Facebook October 3rd. Friends, can I ask a small favor? Will you all help stop this conspiracy junk that is floating all over Facebook and the internet about floods in Western North Carolina? Example, FEMA is stealing money from donations, body bags ordered but government has denied, bodies not being buried, government is controlling the weather from Antarctica. It is.
well, the new detector.
Government is trying to get lithium from West North Carolina, stacks of bodies left at hospital, and on and on and on. Please stop this junk. It's just a distraction to people trying to do their jobs. Folks, this is a catastrophic event of which this country has never known. It is the largest crisis event in the history of North Carolina. The state is working nonstop. DOT has deployed workers from all over the state. Duke Power has 10,000 workers on this. FEMA is here. The National Guard is here in large number. My Senate district is 8 counties, and it takes 3 hours to drive across it in good weather. This disaster is 25 counties in North Carolina. This is going to take months, if not years, to overcome. Government will play a role in this cleanup. We are going to make sure the state chips in some massive money. But government is not the total solution. Yes, there are a lot of neighbors helping neighbors, and that's good in the way it should be. Please don't let these crazy stories consume you or have you continually contact your elected officials to see if they're true. I
They
just
are true.
Right?
talked to one senator that has had 15 calls today about why we don't stop, fill in the blank. 98% chance it's not true, and if it is a problem, someone is aware and on it and not waiting for a post to go through 10,000 people to be addressed. Thanks for listening, but I've been working on this 12 hours a day since it started, and I'm growing a bit weary of intentional distractions from the main job, which is to help our citizens in need. Well, gee, why did they wait so long to do it? That's my
Leadership
comment.
problems.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
people
The
only last 3 days without water. Reality is, if you wait longer than that, people are dying. You don't wait that long. Not if
they're
you
talking
care.
about the lithium mines. The Kings Mountain mine it is they just got a $90 million.
Oh, I know. I've got links
That's
to
a
all of
CPO
that
deal.
stuff. I'm just having trouble thinking. So I'm going slow.
Oh yeah,
But that gives
but
everybody time to weigh in. Okay. Fort
you know who owns
Liberty.
What, Tommy?
National
Hang
Guard
on, Penny.
appreciation.
Hang on, Penny.
National
Whoop,
what?
whoop. Hang on, Penny. What, Tommy?
you know who purchased the controlling shares of the Kings Mountain mine recently?
Oh, yeah. A year
BlackRock.
ago.
BlackRock. And they
Yeah,
were
they have.
filing limited bankruptcy at the time they bought in.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've
And now
had
they're
word from
and guess
one.
who is a major shareholder in BlackRock?
All of them.
Ms. Harris's husband.
Yep.
Most of the members of Congress.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
most of the members of Congress, but we're talking Ms. Harris's husband is a major stockholder.
Yep.
So, yeah, I did that research too. That's why I'm like, where do I start?
Right?
National Guard appreciative of Helene recovery help from Fort Liberty. Okay. 1,000 Fort Liberty soldiers are heading to the western part of the state to help them with Hurricane Helene. There are nearly 7,000 National Guardmen on the ground helping with the recovery effort. Particularly 7 CH-47 medium lift helicopters from the 82nd Airborne that are being deployed through our National Guard Operations Center. Okay, care packages for the soldiers and first responders. More nonsense. Sorry, wrong word. Representative Burchett statement on misinformation surrounding hurricane relief efforts. It basically is the same thing as what the senator said. Governor Cooper and President Biden survey damage from Hurricane Helene during aerial tour, hold briefing for federal officials. Now, why did I share this particular thing? So that we have both sides presented and have something resembling objective news. That
Right.
makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're claiming that everything that we talk about here is nonsense. Okay.
We're a bunch of nonsensical people.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
That would be
That would what?
because all that would be crazy.
Oh, yeah. Just
The
absolutely.
truth is
Yeah.
often stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
And now what is going on in Wyoming?
A fire,
Yeah, I
a
seen that.
major fire over another area that has lithium.
Hmm.
Was Hurricane Helene's path and
Okay. This one you're going to love. This is from Dane Worthington. And it's actually a little louder.
All right.
behavior just the result of natural processes and climate patterns, or was it manipulated? The circular blue flashes seen in this video are frequency transmissions from the NexRad network of transmitter installations. All available science evidence makes clear that atmospheric frequency transmissions can and do have a repelling effect on air masses, especially if and when the air masses have been seeded with electrically conductive nanoparticles. The brighter the blue flash from a frequency transmission installation, the more pronounced and powerful the repelling effect on any air mass or storm in the vicinity will be. Where there are no blue flashes, there is no transmission, thus no repelling effect, thus no resistance for a migrating storm. Translation: a migrating storm will be hindered from moving toward frequency transmissions and will easily migrate in a direction with no transmissions. So again, I ask, was Hurricane Helene's path and behavior just an act of nature, or was it engineered? You decide.
The rest of that's an ad for his documentary.
Oh, I got 2 Tommies.
2 times.
Alrighty then.
There we go.
So yeah. Somewhere in all of this stuff, I have a list of the patents.
Oh, for weather manipulation?
Yeah. If it
Been
came
around.
through. Oh, there it is. Let's see how big I can get this, because that's not going to be readable at that size.
Yeah, I seen an old news clipping from like back in 1998, I think it was, where they were talking about how lasers will be able to control the weather in the future.
Well, that's because it's true.
Well, yeah, I think they've kind of upgraded though from actual. Well, I don't know. I think they still use that for the fires, but the frequencies now is, I think, their upgrade.
It's frequency, it's microwaves, it's LiDAR, it's a number of different direct energy weapons. Yeah, there's 13 manufacturers within 20 miles where I live in Virginia with direct energy weapons.
Yep.
The increase in the production and in the economy has been like tenfold in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of military industrial complex, DARPA.
I remember seeing that map. Have you ever seen that map, Tommy? That was separated. It separated a lot of the states in our country, and in that map, Florida, New York, and San Francisco, parts of California were absolutely gone off of that.
Oh, and
map.
the whole Mississippi Valley was flooded.
Yeah.
Like all the coastal, you're talking about the naval map with inundation of water.
Yep.
Yep. Which, yeah, it's predicted in like the next 40 years.
You know, we have been, well, I don't know about anybody else, but I know in this house, our sleep schedule is so messed up. We're not sleeping. We get real tired, pass out for about 3 or 4 hours, and then we're up. And then we're up for a little bit, and then get real tired and pass out and sleep for another.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of spacey today.
And that's not really like us here, you know. Either I sleep all day and I'm up all night, or I sleep all night and I'm up all day. Same way with Jack and my dogs. My dogs have been completely out of it, but then when they are awake, they hear things that they don't normally hear, and they won't shut up. I'm kind of surprised my little one's sleeping because the neighbor slammed the door. But they've been like on edge. My cat's been acting weird, running around thinking she wants to attack everything and acting like she's a kitten and she's 7 years old. She needs to calm the hell down. She's too fat. She jumps up on things and knocks everything over because she's too fat.
Well,
Her food dishes went everywhere the other day. It's like, oh my God, are you kidding? But
where I tried to save the list of the weather control patents, it won't enlarge to be visible. So I found the website. So I'm going to try to share that, and we'll have fun with this. Yes, it's that.
ooh, Julie has a really good concept here.
Okay. Is it showing?
No, it's not in there yet.
Well,
That's a good concept there, Julie.
what concept?
Let's see if I can find it again. She said that HARP is being used in conjunction with the Ice Cube and projects and CERN to do different things like create.
Yes.
Uh-oh, who's here?
Um,
Oh, that's that.
my friend Eric Hecker.
Yeah.
Is the whistleblower about the Ice Cube neutrino detector array in Antarctica. And they're using that like they used to use the HARP out of Alaska, but it's a lot stronger. And so they're able to bounce it off the ionosphere and in literally anywhere on the planet. And there's nowhere you can hide from it, and it can set for a depth. And if it goes underground, it will cause earthquakes. If it goes above ground, it causes weather issues. Has this come up yet?
Yes.
Okay. This site is zeroengineering.com, and it's from September 13th, 2017, from the Sirius report, and it's courtesy of Jim Willey. So I want to give proper credit where credit's due. It's zeroengineering.com. So the first patent is from July 1891. So we've been doing this for over 100 years.
Wow.
And it just goes on and on.
Right?
And on.
That,
October 25th, 1955. That's the month I was born. Method and apparatus for detecting minute crystal forming particles suspended in a gaseous atmosphere. So they were trying to figure out how to tell if somebody had messed with the weather. Controllable dispersal device. Decomposition chamber for monopropellant fuel referenced in another patent. Generation of electrical fields. Method for dispersing natural atmospheric fogs and clouds. Aerial insecticide dusting device. Yes, there's all kinds of crap in what they're dropping on us. Cloud seeding carbon dioxide bullet. Silver iodide seeding generator, 1964. Generation of ice nucleating crystals. Still in 64. Electrostatic mixing of microbial conversions, because they're putting microbes in it.
yep.
65, self-focusing antenna system. 66, electrically heated smoke producing device. 66, metallic composition for production of hygroscopic smoke.
Hmm.
67, means
Oh,
for communication through a layer of ionized gases.
look, I was born in January of 67.
Yeah. That's how long we've had this.
Wow.
69, Rainmaker. 69, method and apparatus for seeding clouds. Okay, we'll
doing
skip
that.
forward a little bit. 71, methods of increasing the likelihood of precipitation by the artificial introduction of seawater vapor into the atmosphere windward of an airlift region.
Hmm.
That means downwind of an airlift. So you're doing an airlift and you're making it rain behind you. 71, methods of treating atmospheric conditions. By the way, we were still in Vietnam then.
Yeah.
These were used in the war there. Treatment of atmospheric conditions by intermittent dispensing of materials.
Wait, hold tight, Penny. Hang on one second. What'd you say, Tommy?
Yeah, they were exacerbating the rainy season and making the rainy season all year long, and trying to bog them down in mud. The economy.
Yeah.
And in neighboring countries.
Yeah, my partner Lou was there about that time.
Laos.
He was a contractor for the DoD. 72, pyrotechnics comprising oxide of silver for weather modification use. 73, that was when I graduated high school. Device for clearing impurities from the atmosphere. Our air was so bad then that there'd be half the year you were told to stay indoors in California. And I'm sure it was worse downwind of us. 74.
Hey, Susie.
Rocket having barium release to create ion clouds in the upper atmosphere. This was about the time that the geoengineering groups, like Dane Worthington, started in because they were finding damage to the forests here from heavy metals. Barium was one of them. Barium, strontium, and zinc, I think. Okay. Chaff dispensing system, 74. Methods of generating ice nuclei, smoke particles for weather modification, and the apparatus thereof. Electrical heating apparatus for generating superheated vapors. These were all in 1974. Powder contrail generation.
Oh, gee.
1975. Gee, I wonder what they use that for. I believe today they call it stratospheric injection, but most people call it chemtrails.
Yeah.
It's 15 herbs and spices.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And we're still in the 70s. 78, pyrotechnic cloud seeding composition. Fluid bed chaff dispenser. Oh, they figured out how to make it into a fluid instead of a salt, instead of a powder.
Yeah.
White cover sheet material capable of reflecting ultraviolet rays. That was 82. 1982, procedure for the artificial modification of atmospheric precipitation as well as compounds with a dimethyl sulfoxide base for use in carrying out said procedure. That's why sometimes it smells like sulfur.
Yeah.
83, laminar microjet atomizer and method of aerial spraying of liquids.
Yes.
84, bipolar fog abatement system. 86, liquid propane generator for cloud seeding apparatus. 87, aerosol particle charge and size analyzer. Yeah. 87, method and apparatus for modification of climatic conditions.
Acquiring minds.
87, method of producing cumulus clouds. 87, HARP patent. 87, charged aerosol. Method and apparatus for creating an artificial electron cyclotron heating region of plasma.
The good old days.
Oh, yeah.
Reaganomics.
87, I think 87 we're getting into when Nancy was actually running the country.
Yeah.
Well, Cheney and those guys had a hand in it too.
Of course.
Yeah.
89, method and apparatus for the measurement of the size of particles entrained in a gas. Apparatus and method for mixing and diffusion of warm and cold air for dissolving fog. 1989, nuclear-sized explosions without radiation. I believe that's popularly called a neutron bomb. And if that's what that is, then you can drop one of those things and it will kill everything organic in about 6 weeks. And at 3 months, you can walk in and take over the place.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Laser optical measuring device and method for stabilizing fringe pattern spacing.
The fringe.
Yeah. 1991, creation of artificial ionization clouds above the Earth. 91, stratospheric Welsbach seeding for reduction of global warming. That's how long they've been screwing with our climate. Climate change is done by these folks.
What'd you say, Tommy?
I said, or the induction of climate change.
Yeah.
Yes. Method for producing a shell of relativistic particles at an altitude above the Earth's surface. That's 91. Method and apparatus for generating and utilizing a compound plasma configuration. Artificial ionospheric mirror composed of a plasma layer which can be tilted, which is how they reached the whole planet. And that was in 91.
They've been playing with this stuff for a long time.
Oh, yeah. And
This is Nikola Tesla died.
About 90 was when I started noticing chemtrails. And here it was just on Sundays to begin with. And now it's every 4 hours around the clock.
Well, do you remember when they used to have those trucks in California that used to drive up and down the streets and supposedly they were spraying for mosquitoes?
Yeah.
DDT.
Yeah, my family used to be, get in the house. Don't be out there.
Yeah.
I used to wonder about that back then. And I was young. I'd be like, what on earth are they doing?
Oh,
Yeah.
this one is 1993 Army Mycoplasma patent.
Mm,
Yeah, mycoplasmas are really weird cells, and they're including them in the stratospheric injection. And I'm calling it that because I don't want us to get in trouble for calling it the other.
right.
Okay. Uh 1994 process for absorbing ultraviolet radiation using dispersed melanin.
Oh,
I, I am going to cuss. Where the hell are they getting melanin?
yeah.
Melanin is in skin.
Yeah.
And from Medlands.
Yeah. It, they're having to get that from people.
Yep.
Okay. That was in 94.
And animals in general have melanin. Mammals specifically.
94. Method of cloud seeding. 94. Method and composition for precipitation of atmospheric water. 95. Optical wet steam monitor. 95. Method to hinder the formation and to break up overhead atmospheric inversions, enhance ground level air circulation, and improve urban air quality. Well, that could have been a good thing because big cities would get a atmospheric inversion and it would just trap all the exhaust in there.
Right.
Nashville, LA. Nashville, they're both inversions.
LA.
LA, San
I used,
Francisco, Sacramento, even Fresno.
yep. I
The big four.
remember that I used to be a long ways away from LA and you could look over and you could see nothing but the smog just sitting there.
Yeah.
See the sunrise.
Ew.
Okay.
For real.
August 1995, tropical cyclone disruption.
And eruption.
Yeah.
Just reverse engineer it.
Method of 96. Method of hydrometeor dissipation, clouds. So method and apparatus for modification of supercooled fog in 97. Remote diagnostics of ocean atmosphere system state, 97. 98, use of artificial satellites in Earth orbits adaptively to modify the effect that solar radiation would otherwise have on Earth's weather. So they started blocking the sunlight in 98.
Wow.
99, weather modification by artificial satellite.
For the Star Wars initiative.
2000, solvent detergent emulsions having antiviral activity. 2000, solar powered airplane. 2000, method and apparatus for modifying supercooled clouds. 2000, synthetically spun silk nanofibers and a process for making the same. 2001, automated mobility classified aerosol detector. 2001, method of modifying weather. You know they're talking about the nanofibers because the stratospheric injections are full of them.
Julie says it's all research, right?
I mean, right? Let's see how bad we can make you.
They don't make this many patents unless they figured out a way to make money or use it for something they want.
I know it.
Well,
Ugh,
yeah.
Okay, so we've got 20 more years of stuff.
man.
2005, weather modification by Royal Rainmaking Technology.
The Sioux Indians had it.
Method
Right.
for extracting and sequestering carbon dioxide. 2007, methods of removing aerosols from the atmosphere. 2008, seawater-based carbon dioxide disposal. Oh, they did it on purpose. That's why the oceans are acidic. Carbon I can't say that word. Sequestration and production of hydrogen anhydride. So they're separating out the carbons. 2010, RFID environmental manipulation.
I
Yeah.
know what that means.
Hell if I know, and it sounds scary.
Radio frequency induced.
Yeah, and this stops in 2013. 2012, it says geoengineering method of business using carbon counterbalance credit, and there's a link to that. And in 2013, charged seed cloud as a method for increasing particle collisions and for scavenging airborne biological agents and other contaminants. And the source is the Sirius Report. Do y'all know who the Sirius Report is?
No.
It's, you can turn off the share now.
Oh, okay.
The Sirius Report is Catherine Austin Fitz, who was the Secretary of HUD under Papa Bush. When she does research, it's impeccable. She audited HUD. She has audited other agencies. She found something like $21 trillion missing, unaccounted for, from the time of Papa Bush up until Baby Bush.
What were you gonna say, Tommy?
I'm not sure when.
We were talking about.
HUD,
go ahead.
or the missing money between Papa Bush and Baby Bush. So it's like the Bush and Clinton, like the crime syndicate years.
Yes, the Bush and Clinton crime syndicate years that goes by the name of Operation Hammer, and Hammer is in all caps. And that was how the CIA raised the money to pay for their third world wars to fight communism.
That and cocaine sales.
Yeah.
Trafficking.
Yeah, that was a lot of it was cocaine sales. That program is what started the cartels. It destroyed Latin America. Just flat out destroyed Latin America. And the Bush and Clinton families did it. And
the war there.
all of that came out in the 1980s when Papa Bush was president, and all of the people that whistleblew wrote books, and those books are out there. They're not currently in print, but the used books are out there ready to buy, and they're reasonably priced. They're less than $20. I've been collecting them. I have a collection of primary sources for the 20th century.
What, Tommy?
Oh yeah. I used to have quite a collection of books about the whole black ops, black projects.
If you
Yeah.
really if you really want to get into the shit that the Bushes did with the Clintons, look into Project Black Eagle. They stole Nazi money, Nazi gold, and used it to fund themselves. That's how you ended up with 2 Bush presidents and a Clinton president, was Project Black Eagle.
Well, I know Eagle too, but during Vietnam was the brainchild of George Papa Bush, Herbert Walker, and he that was when he was with the CIA.
Yeah.
He oversaw the importation and sales of narcotics to the U.S. servicemen in Vietnam, and then utilized the body bags to ship back drugs into the United States during that period of time, and then that got rolled into the Iran-Contra scandal. There were many predators around the country where they were already distributing narcotics, but the heroin from the Golden Triangle, and then they already had deep in Central and South America, and actually worked with a guy that they hired as an interpreter within the last 6 months on a construction site, who was one of what's the name's guys, Ollie North's one of his guys. That Reverend Danny or Pastor Danny,
They started off with the Brits had the opium trade out of China. And in World War I, we were supposed to come in on the side of the Germans, and we came in on the side of the British because of some agreement between Teddy Roosevelt and the British Crown.
They gave us a shit ton of
Corporation. And in the process, sometime between World War I and World War II, the United States had control of the opium trade instead of the Brits, and our money became the world reserve currency instead of pound sterling. And when they talk, there's this special relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom, and I've never found the documents, but I know it happened while Teddy Roosevelt was president, because we had been in an alliance with Prussia and Tsarist Russia up until him. And after him, we were allied with France and England. So he's the pivot point. But I can't find the paperwork. I don't know what the agreement was. It's really strange if something that's over 100 years old is still classified.
Yeah, they gave us a bunch. The first wave of troops that we sent in, they gave us a shit ton of gold. And then when they needed like another million more troops, they didn't have any gold left to give us, so they sent the Queen's what you call it, accountant over, and he set up the federal, the IRS essentially, after World War One, and then World War II was, we didn't want to come into that really either, and so they had to manufacture a reason and allow the Japanese to come and bomb Pearl Harbor, even though we knew well in advance that was going to happen.
Yeah.
That emboldened the spirit of patriotism up through the country, and to get everybody on board with the war effort.
We have not had a real attack on our soil since the Civil War.
We have 1963. There was one. They murdered a president on live on the air.
That was not a foreign attack. That was our own CIA and oil barons.
There's a foreign hand in it too. It benefited multiple entities. Some of them were not here.
But that's a lot of the attacks on us have benefited multiple entities, but none of them have been what they were presented to the people as.
Rarely are they. I mean, it's all, it benefits us. Always benefits a minority of the population, but they expect the majority of the folks to participate and sacrifice, their sons, their daughters, their aluminum cans, whatever the drive is at the time, copper. There's always a one motivation that's sold through propaganda to get everybody's buy-in, and then they kind of just do what they want, and then spin it how they need to afterwards.
Yeah. I think I've pretty much proven that weather modification is a real thing, and we all know what's going on. So that's not misinformation. I've given it out of Ms. Harris's own mouth that she's preferring folks that are already disadvantaged over folks that she considers to be advantaged, and that those are the marching orders for FEMA. Now,
and you don't see a hurricane roll 800 miles over dry land, gain momentum, and then drop 10 trillion gallons of water in one specific
We've talked about the lithium.
Yeah.
The other thing that's there is the quartz that Tommy just mentioned. So the quartz is the only quartz that's used for silicon chips in the world. It all comes from that mine. So
let me ask a question.
Now, you brought up Wyoming. I've been here. I have not found the paperwork on it, but I have been hearing rumors that there's lithium there too. Now, we have a place in California, Paradise. It's a little town. It's burned to the ground twice in 6 years. Now, there's a lot of rumors in my community, the SSP folks, that there's a colony of ETs living there. I don't know if that's true or not. I do know there was a gold mine beneath the town, and the original inhabitants all owned shares in it, and they were refusing to sell.
Jack's father and stepmother used to live there. And Jack's father got really sick, and he passed away. A month later, his wife went in for a simple surgery, and she was a surgical nurse. She went in for a simple surgery and passed away during the surgery. And their property took a while. They were trying to get things straight to sell it, but there was people that wanted it really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing's been done with it since they got it. So I don't know what they're sitting on it for. But yeah, I heard that there is. I heard there's also gold underneath in North Carolina too.
Anywhere there's quartz is gold.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Now what we have going here is most of the insurance companies that handle fire have tried to leave the state.
Oh, that's nice.
So, like my landlady just had her rates triple because of that. She had to change companies because the one she had left California, and the one she could get charges 3 times as much. But they have this thing going now. If your house burns down twice, whether it's 2 years apart or 30 years apart, the property's red flagged and you cannot rebuild. They have burnt paradise twice on purpose.
That was some
Now,
of the first lasers, space lasers coming down and causing a tree to explode.
Oh yeah, you can track where the fires are, and they're in flight paths. They're going through, we'll burn here, we'll burn here, we'll burn here. Now, the other thing that you match them up against is the local sustainability maps. Every county has a sustainability plan. And if your property is in an area that's going to be zoned for high density, you're at risk. Yeah, there's, let me see if I can find this. So,
Hi, Susie.
Hey,
What you doing?
hi, Susie.
listening.
Welcome.
Okay, yeah. I'm being me. I'm a little bit scatterbrained today, but I'm still me. I have this collection of crap you would not believe. Okay. We've got that one. This is an old map that, there. This is an old map from a treaty that they turned down because they looked at the map. Okay? But all of these things were ratified in other treaties. So if you live in a zone that's red or yellow, they're going to take you out. You're not going to be living there anymore. You are only going to be allowed in a green, which is normal use, a pink if you're native, and the gray zones are military bases. That's it. Those are
What's this?
Green.
This is a United Nations map.
Oh, those people just need to be fired. We don't even need them anyways. I don't know what they're good for.
Well, unfortunately, we've signed treaties where they're in charge of the world. And worse than that, they made the World Economic Forum, aka Klaus Schwab, their partner. And about 2 weeks ago, they put in this thing, it's some contract with the future, plan for the future or something like that. And the thing that struck me was they declared that dissent was terrorism.
Oh yeah, I'm on the watch list.
Oh
Good
God.
Stuff.
Ask Bree about what happened when she had me on the first time.
He knows.
One of the profilers that came to my house under false pretenses for the FBI, told me that I'd been off the list for years, a couple years ago. But the consequences of being on the list and getting on the on the radar of other groups that continue to harass you and traffic your neurological data and bombard you with electromagnetic frequencies and all kinds of fun stuff. They don't take you off the list.
No, you never. Look,
Oh,
I served in their programs for God only knows how much. They took me when I was 4 years old. I've served over and over and over and over and over and over, and I'm still being taken. Okay?
Mhm.
And yet they shoot me with energy weapons. I was at a conference this last summer in July. The last night of the conference, I got shot in the arm. I was sitting next to another one of the speakers, and guess what? They got him so bad he was almost passing out, and he was really close to throwing up. And
Penny,
he was
was it
sitting.
was it somebody shooting you in the conference? Were you getting?
I did not. We were outside on the patio at the beach on the Gulf side. We were in Tampa Bay. We were on St. Pete's. We were on the patio that faces the Gulf.
I was supposed to be there.
And we were sitting there together. It was the last night. We'd already done all of our speeches. We were doing our final networking, exchanging information to stay in touch, all that stuff. Most of us were already friends. There were a few people I didn't know, and that's what we were doing, was networking and winding down because we were kind of hyped up. And all of a sudden we started getting hit. We never did see who was doing it. But Drago Reed was sitting to my right, and he was the one that got hit. My partner Lou was sitting to my left, and he didn't get hit because Drago and I got hit.
Dang.
And it took 2 months for my 2 months for my arm to heal. And
well, let me ask you another question, Penny. How far away do you think you were being shot from? Like, how far away does this thing shoot from?
Drone, it could be from a satellite.
It can be from a satellite.
Or phase forming panel, or beam forming panel on 5G tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
And there was a hotel on the left, but that would have hit me on the left arm, and it hit me on the right. So
I think we had just a little shift because my house kind of shifted, and I got a deep tone in my ear, which when I lived in California, that's what would happen before we had an earthquake to me. And I was just sitting there, the house shifted. So either that or somebody with a really big truck outside might have hit something. I don't know, but I just shifted. Huh?
I stopped by the house yesterday for like 15 minutes to grab a snack and use the restroom. I was going to head back to the job site where I was working, and I sat down. I got really dizzy, and I turned my recorder on my phone because I heard that the tonal like shift that occurs a lot of times, and then I was immediately just so tired I couldn't stay awake and dizzy. So I laid down on the couch and I woke up. This was at a little after 4. I woke up at like 12:30 in the night or in the morning. Like 8 hours later, and
oh wow,
my phone has recorded 8 hours of audio, and there's some really strange like sounds going on. It's not just me snoring, So I think I'm gonna send that to Amy's audios and have her, analyze it. Yeah, I mean, but when the frequency happens, it induces sleep. It changes your
I have
EEG.
times that it just knocks me out, and most of the time Lou manages to get me up to bed.
I will on the couch.
All of us in this community get this kind of stuff on a regular basis. You just say, well, I got hit with a dew. and most of us understand.
Yep.
I've had radiation burns on my face so bad that my beard fell out, and I had open wounds from it
Wow.
on occasions, and radiation poisoning for weeks. And
That was kind of what my arm did. I felt it. I've had a spinal fusion in my neck, and I felt it in the metal in my fusion. And I put my arm up, and it hit my arm instead of my neck. But
pulse microwave.
yeah, pulse microwave is what I thought, because the metal from the fusion was what heated up first.
Good Lord, I think I'm immune to that. I spent most of my life as a young person standing right there in front of the microwave waiting for it while it was on.
Did you do what I used to do as a kid? Come on, hurry up! I have all second.
I don't have all day.
So, Penny, do you know if anybody else at the conference was hit besides you guys? Had you heard anybody
You.
else say?
I had heard that there were others. I have not heard exactly who they were.
I know that something went on with Johnny while you guys were down there.
Johnny had come back from Mexico and had a really bad experience, and we were talking about that just before I got hit.
I love listening to him. Oh my Lord, the information he puts out and the things that Johnny Enoch puts out. I want him on the show so bad, but he's always so busy. And now he's got a girlfriend, so good luck with any free time.
His girlfriend is a good person, and she's worth interviewing herself.
Is she? And now I've not seen her yet, or really seen much about her, but he seems to.
I used to go to a conference in Las Vegas once a year, and she was one of the other speakers there. She's definitely worth interviewing.
Oh,
I'll talk to her about
that would
having them both on.
That would be great. That'd be pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, she was one of the few people that was consistently pleasant to me. I stopped going to that conference because there was a speaker who flat out told me he was going to rape me.
What?
Gee.
Awful.
So I stopped. I complained to the production crew about one of the things he said, and they just laughed at me. So I just said, I don't need this. I don't
Wow.
normally get paid to do a conference. I was not paid for those conferences. The one in July, they paid my way because I was keynote speaker and because I flat didn't have the money. There was no way I was going to make it to Tampa Bay unless I was subsidized. And, they asked me and I said, I don't have the money to go. I was politely declining, and I was told, well, we're going to pay for it. So that's part of the rage that people had from the time I was asked until after the conference. Was they were angry that my way was being paid.
Something just came to mind that when we're done with the show, I want to ask you about that.
Okay.
Something just came to my mind that
I'm on Social Security disability. I'm not a wealthy person. I don't ask people for money usually. I do have a Patreon for people who want to support me keeping Rumble. That's what it pays for.
Yeah, I know. I think that is the problem that I'm having with Rumble, because I keep trying to stream live on Rumble, but I'm having some kind of a problem linking my YouTube to my Rumble. I've been trying, but I don't pay a lot. I don't pay the full. amount for the
That,
Rumble,
that,
like the
that,
whole
okay.
the high one, and because I can't.
When
I
you
mean,
get
I make
to
less
the,
than you do, Penny. You got disability part. You know, they even tried to deny me after I lost my
oh,
leg.
I didn't get SSI because I live with a man.
Yeah, that's what I've got. And
So I didn't
trust
get
me,
that. I got the disability that's insurance because I paid into it. That one.
yeah,
So
no, I
and
get a whole whopping $942 a month, and my rent and water and
I
stuff
get
here is
$100
nine.
a month. I get $100 a month more than that. And guess what? The rent
Now,
here, if I didn't live with Lou, I couldn't cover my rent.
now
And I'm still
Susie sent me,
paying.
yeah, and
I'm,
Susie sent
yeah.
me money, thank God, to help me pay for the platform because I had my platform paid up for a year, and of
Uh-huh.
course that got hacked into and taken away from me. So,
Well,
you know,
I
Susie
just
helped pay for
lost
that
my
one.
website because I was broke
Yeah.
and my IT guy started getting worse medical bills because he has cancer.
Oh no.
And between us, when it came time to renew the website, neither one of us had the money. So my website's down, and that's why. It's not to blame anybody. It's just a simple matter of shit happens.
Yeah.
That happened
But
to my
I
nonprofit.
you what?
That happened to my nonprofit organization, and then one of the individuals the company sent in to um, wrangle me uh, pointed out that it was still online. It was just in Russian. It was the day, and
No.
that was the day of the Dominion pipeline hack.
Well, I have more followers in Russia than I do in America.
Yeah,
So
right?
uh, that
Yeah,
was
this,
that was Daryl Neely's doing. I was on Global Enlightenment Radio Network, and he would he had it literally around the world, and he said that the servers would light up as soon as it hit Asia because of all the followers in Russia that were climbing in to see me. And there's a guy on YouTube. His channel is Astro Leonica, and he pays for my videos to be translated into Russian, and he uploads them. And
Wow.
once a year, he gives me my share of what YouTube pays him.
Oh wow.
And he and the translator are the only ones that have ever done that.
Nice.
So, you
That's
know,
cool. Well, we are
stuff.
starting to run out of time. So uh Penny, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you and about your Patreon and stuff like that?
okay. I have my main where my new work is odyssey.com, and the channel is Nachtwaffenpilot, NACHTWAFFEN, and then pilot. And I use that same name on Rumble, but there's some overlap between them, but they have different things. Um, I'll have to give you the link for the Patreon because I never remember what the number is. Um, but I still have those, and I recently started a Substack, and it's also Nachtwaffenpilot. Uh, they haven't deleted my YouTube yet, but I stopped uploading there 2 years ago.
You know, yeah, I think that if I didn't have YouTube to just giggle about, I don't know what I would do. They make me laugh. Um,
Well, we've also got this problem that Facebook has been deleting my stuff, and they'll put me on timeout for an hour,
yeah, they've been messing with me too.
and Or they'll tell me, well, you let something into this group that wasn't acceptable, but we can't show you what it was because we deleted it. And I'm
Exactly.
like, it doesn't do any good to tell me you deleted it if you don't tell me what it was.
Right?
I have no idea what you're pissed about.
I can test everything that happens.
And
90% of the time, they put it back on.
I've gotten to the point where I assume they're just pissed at me. That if it has my name on it, they don't want to, because obviously you've experienced it. There are certain agencies of the government that are trying real hard to shut me down.
they just suck.
I
Tommy,
haven't done anything illegal, so they have no legal grounds to stand on.
right?
Right.
Tommy, where can everybody find you?
On here, on Beyond the Box, and YouTube at Tommy Edwards 7062, and on Rumble at what's it Dreamcatcher 33, and then I'm on Instagram at Touchdown Tommy Edwards, and Facebook the same, and this and that. Oh, and my X account now is Tommy Edwards T O1, not 0, O.
I'll have to go find your new one then.
Yeah, I mean, I've had 2 I've been locked out of in the last 6 months. One of them was I've had for 8 or 9 years. And I mean, I was locked out for like a year and a half, and then suddenly I wasn't anymore. I'm not sure how that happened. And it was after it became X.
Now, real quick, Sam, we didn't get to do it at the beginning, so we can do it now. Susie,
Yeah.
so what have you been up to today? Tell everybody what you've been doing.
Today, let's see, I was talking to the mayor of our town and about oh gosh, I talked to the mayor, went to City Hall, and they may maybe give Brenda a job up here doing some work.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing something, all right.
I think watching the children at the school for people who drive trucks too fast by. I think that's what they would need you to do. Yeah, like security. Yeah.
Yeah, like smack them in their heads when they go by if they're not paying any attention.
Right?
I think I did this cool. Right. Okay, so what I just posted in the chat, I believe is stuff for Penny. I copied the address and posted. I've never posted anything in the chat like that before, so hopefully it works.
Oh wow,
that was kind of neat.
I'm going through and finding my links.
It says bad URL.
They're the proper ones.
Let's see. I'm having fun. Now that I think I know what this is.
Oh, and where you can find me is chasing cows or horses or fires.
Oh God! Yeah, Susie tried to start a fire on her property the other day and had to call the firemen out for the second time this week.
Yeah.
Oh gee.
Well, the fire was. We cleared a lot of land. Like we cleared about 170 acres of trees. So we'd burned off like 35 acres, no problem. We started on the other side, the other acreage, and we'd been burning. But where we'd burned, everything was going good. And then the next day, the wind started, and it jumped into the grass. And I was beating it out with a shovel, and I couldn't get ahead of it. So I had to call the fire department. And they'd already been out here this week for Roger. So, I mean, twice in 1 week. And I had to buy them Domino's pizza for everything because they're all volunteer. They don't get paid. Wow. So they saved us. Yeah. Great guys.
Yeah.
Well,
huh?
Be more careful.
Well, it was one of those things where
Yeah.
nature did its thing. It like,
It changed.
Yeah, it changed.
Yeah.
It did the opposite. It zigged when you zagged.
Yeah.
Things
Sometimes
happen.
those things get out of control. It's nothing that you do everything you can, and then yeah.
I just picture her sitting there at the table having coffee, looking out the window, going, "Wait a minute," because she says there's not supposed to be that much smoke.
Where's that smoke coming from? It was almost nothing. I'm running out there on the four-wheeler, going, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, there are days
I don't want to burn
when
down the neighbor's pasture again. Okay, already did it once.
there are days when I'm sitting here and I ask Lou, my partner, I go, that's an awful lot of airplanes going over. What happened?
Well, I live right
Well,
next to the
we live
military base, so when I
we
hear the planes and helicopters, I don't think anything of it. I'm just like,
we live about 10 miles from the airport where CDF has their planes, the bombers that drop the retardant. So if they're flying over us, they're heading south. So if there's a lot of them, it means it's close because they only have like 5 planes.
Wow.
not us. God.
We hardly ever see any airplanes over here, ever. Hardly.
I see like Tomcats fly over here on a daily basis and do mock bombings,
Mm.
literally over my house.
Well, we have a regional hospital, so we get a lot of helicopter traffic.
We
But
get that too.
Ah,
Our own traffic.
Yeah, the other day Jack went outside to go take Tucker out, and he comes back in and has this look on his face, and I'm like, "What are you looking at?" He goes, "There's a Black Hawk over the house." I said, "What?" He said, "There is a Black Hawk over the house."
yeah,
And I said, "Well, did you
That-
flip them off, or do you want
that's
me to go out
usually-
there and pull my pants down and tell them they can kiss my ass? I mean, what do you want me to do?"
that's usually at 3 in the morning here.
Where I was staying the year before last with a friend, what happened on a semi-regular basis to the point where it blew the shingles off his townhouse in spots. And it was the place I was staying when I first caught direct energy attack in a loop, in an audio feedback loop on my computer as I was doing live stream on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. But BlackRock has an HQ about 3 miles from my house in an underground facility at the Rapid Arsenal that is run by Base Systems that they own.
Have any of you picked up on the recording something that sounds like an insect talking?
Crickets, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
an insectoid, like an ET.
Probably, I have something like I was able to modulate the frequency down to a low enough to where it's more audible, and then I filtered out a bunch of the white noise and gray noise that happens in the frequencies that we normally don't hear after I modulated it down, and it sounds like greetings. Really weird.
Wow.
I don't know. I just keep hearing people saying, "Get out, get out."
no, Penny, I had a dream the other day. I told
Norma.
Brenda, I had a dream the other day. Oh my God. I don't know who told me this, but I heard a voice say to me, because I've been so tired lately, the voice said, if you were a teddy bear, you'd be a sleepy bear. And I thought, who just said that?
You're making new Care Bears, and Susie, you're in it.
You're a sleepy bear. I'm like, what? A sleepy bear?
You know, Norma, I could see myself doing that, going out there to moon them. I would lean forward in my chair and with my pants down, fall out of my chair on my face onto the ground. That would be a smooth move because everybody around me would just be laughing so hard. I don't know, man.
The fun part would be getting back in the chair.
Yeah, Jack be calling 911, and when they pull up and see me with no pants my pants down to my knees going, what are you doing, lady? Well, I was looking for the bathroom.
How about painting on the north side of my roof? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Well, we can't do that because I live in an apartment. It actually belongs to somebody else. So I'm really sure that my owner of this building would be like, what on earth have you done? Well, it's in blue.
I was going artistically, exactly.
Right. But all right, everybody, we're going to go. We will be back tomorrow night. We've got Doug Phelps joining us tomorrow night. And keep an eye out for Saturday and Sunday. I'm still kind of working on those.
You're welcome.
Got some slow to react. Bigfoot
I
person.
hope I made sense.
Oh yeah,
you did.
And your page with all the stuff on it. Yeah. Yes, and thank you so much, Penny, for coming. It was.
I feel like I was in class and I got an education tonight. A little bit.
Got an education today.
Yeah, it was good.
We learn something new every day too. You know, and this is good. It's the information sharing, and Penny's a wealth of knowledge. That's for sure.
Well, I was trying to keep us out of trouble while sharing it too.
Which takes a unique approach as well, you know, and a wisdom all in itself too, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna bake some
laws out
cookies
there, and we don't want to run afoul of them right away.
I'm gonna bake some cookies and have them ready on a plate in case I get a knock on the door. I'm just gonna give them some cookies and tell them to go find their way home.
Set a plate out there for them.
Here you go.
Have they come by every time you've had
No,
me?
they didn't come by the last time. Only the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't think they were real happy with me. I mean,
They said that ornery Brenda, you know, she wouldn't even talk to us.
I'm like, you don't even want to know me. Just go away. Slam the door in their face. I don't care. I'm busy.
You know what's funny is they don't come to my door.
I know.
Like, right? You know, if they want to know about Penny, they should just ask Penny. I'm like, what the heck, right? She'll tell them.
Yeah, and then I got to tell you guys about somebody who is speaking to me about doing something, and I was like, oh, let's not talk about this while I'm in the nail salon because, yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go. Because I don't answer. When I answer my phone, I don't ever hold it up to my ear. My phone does not go up to my ear anymore. And I have found that I have less headaches now since I charge it on the other side of the room and I don't hold it up to my ear when I answer it.
Right.
Good.
So depending on who calls is whether, like, I got a friend that lives in North Carolina, and when he calls me, it's like me. He doesn't talk to me on speakerphone because one time he was in Walmart and I started spouting off about some stuff, and apparently there was somebody with a kid standing there that looked at him funny. And see, so when he calls me, I do this.
I'm wearing a shirt, Brenda, that says North Carolina, and I didn't even know I put it on. Yeah.
That's okay.
You going on a trip?
Appropriate for this show.
Great.
But anyways, all right, guys. So we're going to get out of here, and we will be back tomorrow night. I've added more shows, and I'm still just keep an eye out for your little pop-ups that say that I'm going to have a show. I usually always share them the day before also, so they come up. But we're going to go. So everybody, please be kind to one another, and we will see you tomorrow.
Goodbye for now, from Beyond the Box.
Please join us again for Beyond the Box, Friday and Saturday evenings, from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern. Join us for more intel bombs from our extraordinary guests.
Good night, Putin. Good night, Tucker.